together new CNN ORSC poll numbers that are just coming in. They paint a pretty grim picture for President Obama. Let's discuss what's going on. Our Crossfire co-hosts are joining us. The former GOP House Speaker Newt Gingrich, the former Obama campaign official, White House official Stephanie Cutter, along with the New York Times columnist Frank Bruni. Let me get your quick reaction, Frank, first, before I go to our Crossfire co-hosts. Here's the new numbers in this new CNN ORSC poll. How is President Obama handling his job as president? 41% approve, 56% disapprove. And if you take a look at the trend since May, it's gone down. 53% approved of the job he was doing back in May, went down to 45, 44, now 41%. Other polls show it a bit lower, but within the margin of error. He's got a big problem here, Frank, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a terrible problem. He's got terrible approval ratings. This is nothing new. This has been going this way for a couple months. It raises big questions about how much he's going to be able to do in his second term. And I don't think we can divorce these poll numbers we're talking about from the nuclear option thing that happened today. He's looking at a second term in which there are big questions about what he can get done. And what Harry Reid has done in the Senate right now is clear a path for him at least to do some stuff along those lines.
He's going to get some stuff done, Mr. Speaker Newt. He's going to get some stuff done now. He's going to get a lot of appointments confirmed because he only needs 51 votes. The Democrats have 55, majority to 45 Republicans in the Senate. So Frank's right. He's going to get something accomplished.
There's no question that in terms of increasing the power of the president, this was a very important moment. And if you watch the president today, he didn't start by talking about judges. He started by talking about everything else. So you have to assume this is the beginning of the end of the filibuster. And in a sense, it's the beginning of the end of the Senate.
Because right now, the filibuster only deals with executive branch and judicial branch nominees, doesn't deal with legislation.
Right. But
what are you saying?
Well, almost nothing in his statement dealt with nominations. He started talking about all the things he wanted to get through. And I suggested to me this is the beginning of a
Is Harry Reid going to do that? He's going to expand and eliminate the filibuster on everything?
Who knows? But there are important facts here that we're ignoring. The reason why today happened is because the Republican minority in the Senate, of all of the filibusters in the history of the Senate, almost half of them have happened under this Republican minority over the past 5 years since the president has come into office. And that's an abuse of power. And I think that it's unfortunate it came to this. You know, nobody wanted this to happen. I'm a firm believer in the power of the Senate as the cooling saucer and the importance of the filibuster in ensuring that we're making the right policy decisions. But what Republicans have done here is egregious.
Well, what does it say, Stephanie, about the President of the United States? He came into office saying there would be a new Washington, there would be bipartisan cooperation,
we
would work together, and this was something he strongly, when he was a senator, he did.
Well, I agree. In fact, I worked on the campaign to avert the nuclear option back in 2005, of which he was speaking about. And things were different back then. Yes, there was the use of the filibuster, but nothing like what you're seeing right now.